On question number 9, earlier in this test, I established a rule that you should tend to follow when you notice that the choices are basically verbs in different tenses, different styles, right? These are verbs. So we need to think about a certain order here. First and foremost, we should think about agreement. Are the words singular and plural, and how does that relate to the sentence itself? So what I said back then still applies. Words like bringing and brought, because they're weird tenses, do not have a singular plural, right? We would say he brought cake, they brought cake, right? The word brought does not change based on the number of people who brought the cake. Brings and has, though, are both singular because these are verbs that end in the letter S. So these are singular. We would need a singular subject to use them. So with that in mind, we go to the sentence and we say, okay, who is brought? What's the subject of that verb? In 1875, Tweed escaped from jail and fled to Spain and unwittingly brought about one final pinnacle for the power of political cartoons. So Tweed is the subject. That's one person. So that doesn't eliminate any answers for us. That's okay. We didn't waste any time. This is what we're supposed to do. A lot of times it will eliminate answers, and then it makes the second part much easier, where we have to decide on the tense. Now, the thing with tense in the SAT is it's also not random. There are going to be, ways to, a lot of times with tense, it is the author's choice what tense to use. And so different authors might choose different tenses, and so that makes that difficult. On the SAT, though, that can't be the case. It can't just be like, oh, I would say it this way, and that means it's right. There must be a reason. And basically, what we want to do then is find some sort of symmetry in the sentence, something that tells us the correct tense. And I think it's fairly obvious to find here. Tweed escaped from jail and fled to Spain and unwittingly brought, past tense, about one final pinnacle. So it fits with the other pieces in the sentence. It's not just that it sounds good. I'm able to point to specific words and say, this is why I am right. And that is ultimately what we really want to do anytime we have a grammar question. And from the start, I knew this was going to be grammar because I know that these kinds of answer choices suggest it's going to be grammar. And so there's a rule. I want to follow the rules if I can. That's how I avoid traps. You probably would have gotten this answer without all that. But remember, we have to treat every question like there might be a trap, so that way we're ready when it comes. And in the meantime, it's just going to boost our confidence and make us more thorough.